During the 24 Hours of Spa, the British manufacturer Aston Martin secured a historic result by taking victory at the Centenary edition of this classic Belgian endurance race, and placing on the overall top step for the first time in more than 75 years. But achieving this result was no easy task, and it even took another car's dramatic moment for this Aston Martin Vantage GT3 to secure this result. So in this video, I will dive into the details on how Aston Martin won this special 24 Hours of Spa race in 2024. For this GT3 endurance race, Aston Martin entered cars along with 8 other manufacturers. The British marque would enter 7 of the new for 2024 Vantage GT3s into this event, and one of the cars, badged as the number 007 car, would be entered by the team Comtoyou Racing, which is the entry I'll be primarily focusing on in this video. The 007 Aston Martin would qualify 13th in Superpole, but during the race, the Comtoyou entry showed strong pace and made up ground as the event progressed. This Aston Martin car also had a strong and experienced driver lineup, which included all platinum rated drivers, considering this car is in the pro class. The car featured the Danish racers Yeti-Blue and Marco Sorensen, along with Italian racer Mattia Druidi, and all 3 racers consistently were in the fight during the race with the other cars and showed positive potential to secure a successful result if they continued to have a consistently strong race with limited to no setbacks. It's also worth pointing out that this was the first 24 Hours of Spa for Comtoyou Racing with not just a new car but a new manufacturer, as the Belgian team had been running Audi entries beforehand and made the switch to Aston Martin in 2024. So to show this performance with their Vantage GT3 was pretty impressive. Coming into the nighttime hours and with 19 hours still to go, Marco Sorensen took the overall lead in the Aston Martin entry from the Dr. Valentino Rossi himself in the number 46 BMW, and Sorensen continued to build the gap as the race progressed as he and Aston Martin led at Spa in first position. With over 14 hours remaining, the safety car had just released the cars after a long period where the rain downpour caused some complications. The 007 Aston Martin emerged down in around 10th place, but the entry continued to move its way further up the leaderboard as the race continued. The daytime hours presented a fierce battle for the overall lead, and in the hunt for it was Mattia Druidi in the 007 Aston Martin versus Alessio Rivera in the number 51 AF Corsa Ferrari. And as the race neared its conclusion, the battle for the win was mainly between those 2 cars. With under an hour to go, AF Corsa's number 51 Ferrari was leading, with Alessandro Pierguidi, the Le Mans winner, behind the wheel. And even with the Comtoyou Aston Martin chasing down the 296, the Ferrari entry was still set to win this race. However, drama struck for Ferrari when Alessandro Pierguidi came down pit lane with over 40 minutes remaining. He was heartbreakingly blocked by a stopped Lamborghini Huracan GT3 Evo, which blocked the entire pit lane and needed assistance. When the Lamborghini was eventually moved and Pierguidi continued for the pit stop, the damage unfortunately was already done. Ferrari had lost the gap to Aston Martin, and the overall lead with it. Comtoyou Racing took advantage of this heartbreaking situation for the 51 car, and took the lead overall of this race. From that point onward, there would be no more position changes for the overall win, and Mattia Druidi would bring the 007 Vantage GT3 across the line in first position. And on their first trip with Aston Martin to the 24 Hours of Spa, Comtoyou Racing had taken victory at this classic Belgian endurance race. The 51 Ferrari would come home for a disappointing P2, with Dries Vanthoor bringing home P3 for BMW and Team WRT after a penalty dropped the number 34 Aston Martin off the podium. Yeti-Blue, Marco Sorensen, and Mattia Druidi had driven to victory, and Aston Martin have achieved the win of the Centenary 24 Hours of Spa. This would also be Aston Martin's first win at this event since 1948, when the 2-liter Sports DB1 took victory. Winning this race was also a big achievement for Yeti-Blue in particular, as the Danish racer has now achieved victory in class or overall at 3 major 24-hour endurance races, which includes this event, the 24 Hours of Le Mans and the 24 Hours of Nürburgring. Niki Team last won Le Mans in the GTE AM category, driving an Aston Martin in 2022, and his last overall win at the 24 Hours of Nürburgring was back in 2013 when Mercedes won for the first time. Overall though, this was a big result at the Circuit des Spa-Francorchamps. For the 3 racers, the team of Comtoyou Racing who made their debut with Aston Martin at the 24 Hours of Spa this race, and for Aston Martin as well, as they have now achieved victory at the 24 Hours of Spa on the 100-year anniversary event, as well as the first time in over 75 years. So what did you think about Aston Martin's win at the Centenary edition of the 24 Hours of Spa? Well, as always, let me know all your thoughts down in the comments. Thanks for watching. For more content on endurance racing such as the WEC and IMSA, consider subscribing if you haven't already. On screen, you'll find some suggested videos to watch next. For now though, that's it for me. You'll hear from me next in the following video.